Have you ever looked at a map of the Middle East and just felt completely lost? It's a region that's always in the news, full of complex stories, ancient history, and modern conflicts. It can seem overwhelming, but trust me, once you understand a few key pieces of the puzzle, the bigger picture starts to make a lot more sense. Today, we're going to break down the geopolitics of the Middle East in a way that's easy to follow. We'll explore the major players, the core issues, and why this region has such a massive impact on the entire world. So grab a cup of coffee and let's dive in. First, let's get our bearings. When we talk about the Middle East, we generally referring to a vast area stretching from Egypt and North Africa all the way to Iran. It includes countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, Israel, Jordan, and the Gulf states like the UAE and Qatar. What makes this region so important? Three big things: resources, religion, and strategic location. Let's start with resources, specifically oil and natural gas. The Middle East holds a huge percentage of the world's proven oil reserves. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, and the UAE are giants in the global energy market. This black gold has been both a blessing and a curse. It brought immense wealth to some nations, funding incredible development and giving them significant influence on the world stage. Think of the gleaming skyscrapers of Dubai or Doha. That's oil money at work. But it also made the region a battleground for global powers wanting to secure their energy supplies. During the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Union competed for influence here, and that legacy continues today. The flow of oil from the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway where a huge portion of the world's oil passes through, is a major global security concern. Any disruption there could send shockwaves through the world economy. Next up is religion. The Middle East is the birthplace of the three major Abrahamic faiths: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. This shared heritage is incredibly rich, but it's also a source of profound tension. Instead of fighting each other directly, they support opposing sides in conflicts in other countries like Syria, Yemen, and Iraq. Then you have the State of Israel. Its creation in 1948 in the historic homeland of the Jewish people was a momentous event. Their rivalry is the engine behind many of the region's current problems. And we can't forget the external powers, especially the United States. For decades, the US has been the dominant outside force in the Middle East. Its goals have been to ensure the free flow of oil, guarantee the security of Israel, and counter terrorism. This has involved military interventions, like the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and strong alliances with countries like Saudi Arabia and Egypt. However, in recent years, there's been a sense that the US is trying to reduce its military footprint in the region, creating a power vacuum that other countries, like Russia and China, are eager to fill. Russia has reasserted itself as a major player, especially through its military support for the government in Syria. China, meanwhile, is focused on economics, becoming the biggest buyer of Middle Eastern oil and investing heavily in infrastructure through its Belt and Road Initiative. So, what does this all look like on the ground? Let's take the Syrian civil war as an example. It started in 2011 as part of the Arab Spring with protests against the government of Bashar al-Assad. But it quickly morphed into a complex proxy war. Assad's government was supported by Iran and Russia. The opposition rebels were backed by a mix of countries including the United States, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. On top of that, extremist groups like ISIS emerged, taking advantage of the chaos to carve out their own territory. It became a devastating conflict where regional and global rivalries were fought out, with the Syrian people paying the ultimate price. Another tragic example is the war in Yemen. It's often described as a proxy war between Saudi Arabia, which backs the internationally recognized government, and Iran, which supports the Houthi rebels. The result has been one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, with millions facing starvation and disease. These conflicts show how the big geopolitical rivalries, Sunni versus Shia, regional powers versus global powers, have devastating real-world consequences. But the story of the Middle East isn't just one of conflict. It's also a story of change and incredible potential. The Arab Spring in 2011 showed a massive popular desire for democracy and better governance. While the results were mixed, that spirit hasn't gone away. We're also seeing major social and economic reforms. Look at Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, an ambitious plan to diversify its economy away from oil, open up its society, and attract foreign investment. There's also the Abraham Accords, a series of agreements that normalized relations between Israel and several Arab nations like the UAE and Bahrain.